Your dream life does not have to be that expensive. I just moved into this penthouse apartment. I'm going to show you around, show you the costs of everything, my entire dream life, and how cheap it really is, and also give you some ideas on what you could do, some things that I learned along the way, and hopefully you can just learn something from this. So we're going to start off in the elevator. You come in, and I basically have the entire 6th floor of this building to myself. You come in, there is a penthouse sign up at the front. It's pretty cool. Come inside, you see the living room and the kitchen right there. There's one bedroom off to the side, also a bathroom. You come towards the back, there's a master bedroom, master bathroom, huge closets in the back that I'll never use. And I put my camera here because I think it has the best view of the entire place. And then outside here, you see there is a green room or some type of sunroom, whatever it is. And it is so nice in there. It's super cool just to sit out there on these couches and this chair. And then there's a city skyline. You go outside. Again, the whole 6th floor is mine. You can see the whole city skyline. It's really awesome. Plus, you go back towards the front and there is a hot tub right there. This is so nice, especially in Ohio winters. Hot tubs are so nice because it's so cold outside and you just get to sit in the hot heat. Very nice. And that's basically the entire apartment. Now, this place is $3,000 per month. Not really that bad, honestly. And so the entire lifestyle. So it's $3,000 per month for this. I also eat out for every single meal that I eat. I really don't eat inside at all. It's about, let's say, $30 per day, maybe $40 a day for eating out. So that's about $30 a day times 30 days. That's $900 a month for that. I have a Tesla Model 3. It's a pretty fast car. I wanted a fast car, right? So fast car, Tesla Model 3 Performance cost me, I bought it outright, but it would cost me maybe $500 a month for payments on that, plus $100 for insurance. Plus, let's just say other little bills and expenses, utilities, plus gas, if you're doing that, all that jazz. That'll be another $500 a month. So everything together is about $5,100 for the dream life. Now, when I first started, I thought I needed to make tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, $1 million a year just to have a lifestyle like this. But then looking back, I worked so hard to get here, realizing I don't really have to work that hard, really. Looking back when I first started, I was going to start a business and my goal was to make $1 million in 1 year. My first year, I made $50,000, which is a far cry from the $1 million I was trying to make. But the second year, I made $150,000. The third year, I made $550,000. And this year, I'm on track to make $750,000, hopefully get to $1 million. And so I was obviously far off from that $1 million goal the first year, but over time, obviously I got there. So it took longer than I thought. But when I look back at all the goals that I set in the beginning, I visualized I wanted this thing, or I want to be here. I want to not have to worry about money ever again. I want to have these cars, whatever. All those things that I wanted in the beginning, I actually got mostly all of that things. The only things I didn't get were just, my values changed. Like, I don't want this crappy car anymore because I realized it was a crappy car. Or I don't want to go on a trip on a vacation at this place anymore because my values kind of changed, right? And so almost everything that I asked for, I got. But it just took a little longer than I thought. So I think that's a big hiccup for a lot of people, is that I think the 4-hour work week is a possibility. It's really not too difficult to get there. It usually just takes longer than you think. So I just have so many people that come to me, they try something for 2 weeks and they want to give up, or they try something for 2 months and they just think it doesn't work. And so I would say, I know it sounds stupid, don't give up, right? But if you actually just do give up, obviously you won't get to the end goal that you're actually looking for. And if I just kept pushing, and eventually I got to a place where I was able to afford all this. But again, as I said, it doesn't take that much. Like, okay, $5,100 a month, right? That is basically $60,000 a year. Now, obviously, you have to pay for taxes, and you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, which that would be $6,000 a year to afford something like this. But if you did, let's say, like I said, $8,000 per month, which is $100,000 a year, that's still very possible. And it's not really that hard to do. Like, again, it took me, about 2 years to get to a point where I probably could have afforded something like this. And it wasn't really, all that hard, really. It's 2 years, again, is like an associate's degree versus going to school for 4 years to maybe make $60,000 a year with a psychology degree or something, or a business master degree. Now, I want to share my philosophy on how I kind of make my decisions, especially financial decisions. So, this apartment's $3,000. I could have easily gotten a house that is 6 bedrooms for $3,000 a month, especially here. I'm in Dayton, Ohio, right? And so I could have easily done that, but I didn't. So I just got this 2-bedroom apartment, and I could have gotten something with more room for less money. But I'm one person. I'm not optimizing for room. All I was really optimizing for was what's the best camera angle I could get. What looks good on camera. That's what I was really trying to optimize for. So really only optimize for the value that you're trying to get. Like, I really don't care about luxuries anymore. Another example is I wanted to get a Corvette, one of the new Corvettes, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. When I first bought my first car, I got a Dodge Challenger, right? And this was like a year and a half into my business, and I was making decent money, so I was like, let me buy something cool. Now, I always loved the look of the Dodge Challenger, but a Dodge Challenger can go anywhere between $20,000 for the newer models to $150,000, $200,000 for like the Dodge Demon, right? And so I was like, well, they look exactly the same. There's only few minor differences, and the major difference between the 20,000 and the 150,000 is the engine that's on the inside, which makes it go a lot faster. But I just like the look, so I was optimizing for the value that I wanted, and so I just got the $20,000 one, right? But once I got it, I still love it, I still have it, but it's like 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, which is, if you don't know, is pretty slow, and it's also very bulky, very big, all this other jazz. And so I was like, I want something, I just want the feeling of fast. I don't really care about the look anymore. I just want fast. No, Corvette's very fast. There's 60, almost probably the best value, kind of super-ish car, not supercar, but, you know, sports car for the money. And so I really wanted that. But then it was like, it's like $90,000 for the Stingray, I think it's called. And so I was like, well, what other cars? I was looking at videos of what other cars can I get for a better value. I was looking up fast cars that are under $20,000, whatever, fast cars under $50,000. And everything was just like old BMWs that you have to fix up. And I was like, I don't really want to do all that. No one was talking about a Tesla Model 3. And I think it's because every car guy thinks that Teslas are gay, which I can understand. But I looked at Teslas, and they were 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds for a Tesla Model 3 Performance. Holy cow, right? That's basically the exact same speed as a Corvette Stingray, right? So why wouldn't I just get, okay, what's the price of the Tesla Model 3 Performance? I found one used for $23,000, the exact same price as the Dodge was, by the way. And it was a 2018, it had 50,000 miles, but only $23,000, right? And so if I can get almost the exact same value, again, the value that I'm trying to optimize for here, which is just speed. Obviously, I'd love to have a cooler looking Corvette, but if all I really want is the feeling of 0 to 60, right? Then I'd rather just get the Tesla, which feels even faster than any gas car. So I get the Tesla, right? And it's super fast, and also it has features like the sound system's way better than the Dodges. It has full self-driving, which no gas car has, right? And self-driving is so nice, especially when you can get to fall asleep in your car. It's so nice to do that. All right, and also it's much smaller, but it also has more room in the back. And I have like these ginormous brothers who are like 6'5", you know, so it's hard for them to fit in the Dodge. So everything about this car is like better value to me, like double the value of a Corvette would be to me, because obviously it has more room. I don't have to worry as much about insurance. I don't have to pay as much for gas. It's the same exact speed. It has full self-driving, all this stuff, and yet it is a quarter the price. And so I'm like, why wouldn't I just optimize for the value, again, that I'm looking for, not just to look cool for everybody else, right? I also recently got this Hulk green Rolex Submariner, right? As you can see here, stainless steel Submariner. Cool. Now you might think, okay, why would you buy a Rolex? Because obviously that's not worth the value. It's actually a fake, and you would never be able to tell by the naked eye that it's fake. And I've had people say, Carson, wow, that Rolex looks really good. I love the new apartment. I love the Rolex. You're balling out, whatever. It's a fake watch, okay? And you would never be able to tell, right? If I zoom in really close. Now I've got another one. I'll show you. I got a blue one here, and this is also fake. But this one is called, so the green is a super fake. So this one, you can kind of notice the difference between the two. But I was watching videos, and I was watching people, Rolex experts, trying to look at a super fake versus a real Rolex. And they could not tell the difference unless they literally opened the back of the watch, and they looked inside the back, and they looked at the engravings on the back of the watch. And that's the only way that they could tell if it was a fake or real. And so by the naked eye, not being able to tell, why would I? Now, obviously, if it was a gold watch and it was real gold, obviously you want to buy just because of the, the value obviously appreciates over time if it's a real watch. But this is stainless steel. It's made of the exact same materials as a real Rolex was made out of. And so if I could get the exact same thing for literally 20 times cheaper, then why wouldn't I do it? And really, I just like the look. I really like the dark green. What I was going to do, because I have a blue car, the blue Dodge Challenger, and I was going to wrap my Tesla in a dark green and have like a watch for each car, which I thought was going to be really cool. Now this one is, so this one was $500 for the super fake. Now it's pretty expensive for a fake watch, but again, I'm optimizing for the value that I want. This one was only $250, but again, you can kind of tell the differences. To the naked eye, most people will not be able to tell, obviously, at all. But there's a few things that I can see here subtly if I look really closely, and I can notice that this is more of a fake. But again, this one, identical to the real one. Now, if you could never do that, you could never wear a fake watch, or you could never drive a Tesla, or I'd rather much rather spend $100,000 on a Corvette. You go ahead and do that. I obviously optimize for the value that you're looking for. If you'd rather live in Los Angeles, you could spend the same amount of money I'm spending living in a very smaller city. Obviously, it looks like it's still a city. It's got the city skyline and everything like that. But if I lived in LA for $3,000, I might get someone's room and a shared bathroom. I'm not saying it's like really dumb. I wouldn't personally do it, really, just because it's like for that price, and then having to deal with all the struggles, having a bigger city, like triple the price of food, triple the price for gas, having to sit in traffic all the time, plus having higher prices with everything, including rent. Why would I do that to myself, you know? Now, I also could just move. I went to Thailand, I went to the Philippines. I loved being there. I would love to move to like Thailand or something, because, you know, Bangkok is like a big city. It's just like New York City, tons of people, plus good food, good everything, whatever, right? And it was so cheap there. Like I got a smoothie for $2. My meal at McDonald's or KFC is $3 or $4, right? My apartment was in this high-rise apartment building, had a huge pool, had a workout room, all this stuff. It was $500 a month, and you can honestly probably get it cheaper if you stay there long term. I was just staying there for 1 month, you know? And so you could probably live in Thailand with something like this for $3,000 a month rather than $5,000 a month. And again, like going on a taxi, it's 50 cents for a taxi, like crazy cheap. Getting food delivered so cheap, you know? Again, I'd love to move there, but my family's here. Also, the time zone differences, where the time zone is like 12 hours difference. I have clients here, and so it's hard to be up all night trying to manage my clients, you know? So I just optimized for the value that I wanted. So 1, create your goals, set them out. It might take longer than you think, but it is well worth it in the end. 2, optimize for the value you're looking for, not for what others are looking for you. Cool?